Are you a victim of having terrible neighbors? Do your neighbors annoy you in any way? Are you tired of seeing Old Man Johnson across the street fetch his paper in his tiny robe? Well, if you answered yes to any of these, then maybe living in a small isolated community is right for you. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay, and well, today we're going to be discussing the top 10 most isolated communities at the end of the earth. Starting off at number 10, we have PALMERSTON Island in New Zealand. This island has a total of 62 residents, and they're all from the same bloodline. This island is so isolated that there are no shops, banks, or markets. In order to get supplies, a ship will bring deliveries, however only a couple of times per year. In order to get by during the period between shipments, they can trade between islanders. Now, this island doesn't have a proper water filtration system, instead they live off drinking rainwater. For food, they live off of fish and coconuts, which can be found on the island. On top of it all, they only have 2 toilets, which are located on the main street. Meanwhile, I'm here and I can barely share a bathroom with my 4 other family members. I can't imagine having only 2 bathrooms for 62 people. That's crazy. This island does indeed have electricity, however it is only available for 6 hours each day. If you wish to take a trip here, there are no hotels, but the residents will happily open their homes for you to share. Coming in with number 9, we have Centralia in Pennsylvania. Centralia is known as a ghost town with only 7 residents. Now, Centralia was once a populated town, however after a coal fire ignited underground, a lot of the residents left due to unsafe living conditions. This fire has been burning for almost 50 years and is said to continue on for another 200. As a result of this fire, there have been lots of sinkholes forming, smoke that can be seen being released from underground, and toxic gas has even filled some of the residents' basements. However, there are still 7 residents that are happy living in their town, and they refuse to move. They claim that the part of the town that they live in is not affected by the fire and is safe. However, in parts of the town that are affected, it is said that the ground beneath them have reached up to 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 400 degrees Celsius for us Canadians. Now, the US government is trying to erase any history of this city. They took away any signs directing people to this town, removed the town's zip code, and forced most of the residents out. However, Centralia does still get a couple of visitors, mainly some kids on Halloween who just want a good scare, or people intrigued by this ghost town. For our 8th spot, we have the SOCOTRA Island in Yemen. First off, whenever I hear Yemen, I think of Friends, the show when Chandler pretends to go to Yemen to get rid of Janice. Am I the only one? Hopefully you guys get that reference. But anyways, SOCOTRA Island has about 50,000 people living there. This island is so isolated that there are plants and species on that island that aren't found anywhere else. In fact, there are 800 rare species of plants and animals. Also, this island is rumored to be the location of the Garden of Eden. On top of that, many of the women that live there have a DNA haplogroup that is unique to them. Basically, a haplogroup tells you about your origin of your ancestors, and their DNA haplogroup is found in no other humans in the rest of the world. In 7th place, we have TRISTAN da CUNHA Island. TRISTAN da CUNHA Island is known as the world's most remote populated island. This island is located in the middle of the South Atlantic island with an active volcano right in the center of it. There are only 9 trips to get to and from this island per year. There are about 258 people who currently reside on this island, and out of those individuals, there are only 9 different last names. These residents speak English, however, they have a dialect that is unique to the island. It's a mixture of Scottish, South African, American, Irish, and Italian. That's a lot. To get to this island, it will be a 6-day boat ride from South Africa. So if you get seasick, I don't think this is a good vacation for you. On this island, they do have a hospital, grocery store, and dental treatment. However, there's no electricity. In our 6th spot, we have the, I'm not trying to pronounce that name. I don't want to butcher it, so we're just gonna put it up on the screen. There you go, that place in Greenland. Now the one thing that might just be harder than saying its name is actually living there. Now this city is home to 450 residents, all of Inuit descent. 9 months of the year, the ocean that surrounds them is completely frozen, in which travel to and from is limited. You must then dog sled, hike, or snowmobile to get there. In the warmer months, boats can travel there and bring deliveries. This town has one grocery store, one pub, and a couple of convenience stores. The residents of this town's main income are from Arctic tours or safaris that they provide for the tourists. Now, if you do plan on visiting here, they do have electricity, central heating, and Wi-Fi at their local recreation center. And fun fact, they also can order packages from Amazon. They just arrive on a charter plane every 2 months. We have now reached our halfway mark with the Supai village. This village is the most isolated village in the United States, with a population of 208 individuals. The Supai village is actually a side branch of the Grand Canyon, located in a 3,000-foot deep hole. It is the home of the Havasupai tribe that have been living there for the past 800 years. In fact, they have been given the name the People of Green Blue Waters, which refers to the 4 waterfalls that are located in their village. There is limited means of transportation to get to this village, since there are no roads connecting there. In order to get there, you can helicopter in, or you can either hike an 8-mile trail or hitch a ride on a mule. You pick. This village is so remote that the nearest food, water, and gas supply is over 60 miles away, and they only have one school. Also, their mail is delivered by mule. At number 4, we have La Rinconada in Peru. La Rinconada is the highest point in the world with human habitation. Due to the high altitudes, people often experience extreme sickness, headaches, nausea, shortness of breath, and even death. There are a total of 50,000 people living there, with the main reason being the hope to become rich through mining. However, their mining system is a complete scam. Basically, every day they're not paid at all for mining, but on the last day of each month they can keep whatever they find. No one has yet been successful. Additionally, this town has no proper sanitation or plumbing system. This means that their sewage runs right down the middle of the street. On top of that, there is no garbage disposal system, so people just bury their trash in the ground or they leave it at the side of the road. This has led to a horrible smell that plagues the city. On top of it all, there are no hospitals, and people have often died from mercury poison from the soil and lake being contaminated. In third place, we have the town of Oymyakon in Russia. Now, this town is the coldest inhabited place, with their typical temperature being negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 50 degrees Celsius. And I thought Canadian winters were bad. I feel like I have no excuse now to complain. This town is so cold that their name literally translates into Pole of Cold. On top of that, their ground is permanently frozen, restricting any farming or growing of crops. This restricts them to mainly eating raw frozen fish or meat. How appetizing. Furthermore, they can't have a plumbing system because any water in the pipes will just freeze. Therefore, they can only use outhouses. In addition, cars tend to die because of the extreme cold, so they have to leave their cars continuously running if they're outside, or they need to be placed in a heated garage. This town has a population of 500 people who, I guess, have no feeling in their body. On top of this freezing cold weather, the town has 21 hours of darkness a day. That's crazy. We need our vitamin D. Making our way down our list to number 2, we have COOBER PEDY in Australia. COOBER PEDY is an underground town in Australia with 2,500 permanent residents. Australia is known for their extreme heat, and as a result, back in the day, miners would continue to remain underground to try and escape the heat. This eventually led them to building permanent homes underground. This town has water, electricity, hospitals, and law and order. The government, not the show. Well, maybe the show too. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, there are even churches, bookstores, and bars all underground. And when you're above ground, there are signs warning people of the unmarked holes so that you don't just fall through someone's chimney and into their living room. Like, can you just imagine that? Like, minding your own business, walking along, all of a sudden you just fall down and you're like, oh, hey guys, what's for dinner? Yeah. And lastly, in our number 1 spot, we have the NAGORO village. Now, this might be the strangest and creepiest one yet. This town in Japan is home to 35 humans and 350 human-sized dolls. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. Dolls. which is why this village is also referred to as the Valley of Dolls. These dolls are made by a Japanese artist and resident there. She created these dolls to replace the people that once lived there who have either passed away or left this isolated town to find better work in a bigger city. Therefore, whenever someone leaves or passes away, this artist will create a new doll in their memory. These dolls can be found all throughout the town and doing an activity or being in a place that best represents the person. And there you have it, the top 10 most isolated communities in the world. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below something, honestly, anything. I love reading your comments. And subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. Bye.